Hey guys, this is Brian again. Today we're going to be discussing rebuilding handheld units, specifically the Graco units. You have a couple different models. They're all going to be very similar. This is the Santa spray for spraying sanitizers, things of that nature. But you also have the regular paint handhelds that are it's going to be very similar. Some very small details may be different, and I'll try to touch on those as we get to it. As you guys know, this is a working shop, so we always want to be safe. Keep safety gear on hand. There's times I have to stop my video so I can go answer phone calls, things of that nature, but otherwise I try to do this straight through. To be safe, we want to make sure that the battery's out, which the battery's out of this one. We're going to remove the paint container right here, and you just twist it off. We're going to set that to the side. Next thing we're going to remove is going to be this filter, tip guard. It's tight. I don't know why it's that tight. Your tip guard shouldn't be that tight. You should be able to put them on and take them off by hand. If you can't, you're putting it on too tight. I apologize about not being in the camera there. You're here to watch a video and not hear me talk. So we're going to take this off. We're going to set this to the side. Next thing we're going to do is remove the prime valve switch. Grab a screwdriver, we'll loosen it up. Put this to the side. We're going to lay it down, and I'm going to use my screwdriver, electric screwdriver, to pull these out. This is all plastic body, so be careful putting the screws in later on so we don't over tighten them. Alright, so now we got this loosened up. We're just going to pull this cover off. It comes straight up, boom, just like that. This is what the inside looks like, and it's going to be very similar on some of these units. There's very little difference. The main difference you're going to find is that there's a screw. We'll see that in a little bit. A screw right here that has a grounding wire on it. You're going to see this several times as we're doing this. It says, notice, do not rotate. So you don't want to spin this while it's in, when it's out, none of that, because you'll damage it for sure. So what we're going to do, here, I'll do it up here so you can see a little better. We're just going to grab the body, a little pressure, wiggle it back and forth, it comes right out. And like I said, there's that ground wire. Sorry, there's the ground wire. We just pull it straight out, and we're going to loosen that ground wire. You see this little sensor right here, it popped loose, it sticks right in here. It's not hard to put back in place. We'll definitely do that when we put the new one in. So we take our screwdriver, easy with the wires so we don't pull them. Now there's two flat sides on this right here, because this rotates independently of the gear, and I'm going to spin this one simply because it's garbage, so we're going to replace it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to put the wrench on there just to hold this while we loosen up the screw. And the new setup's going to come with a new screw, so if you lose it, it's not a big deal. Alright, set it to the side. And I'm going to rotate this so you can see what it does. So when you spin it, you see how this works. Moves the pistons up and down. Now, it shouldn't be this easy in the first place. It should be really tight. And you can see the seal is coming up. See, that seal's coming up. See, that seal's coming up, which means it has failed. Now, there are parts you could put in here and in here. Almost never do it, simply because by the time that needs to be done, typically the back end's damaged as well, so it's just full replacement of the pump. Let me grab the new pump. On this particular unit, it is a 19Y967. Now it's going to vary whether it's corded or not corded, whether it's the MX or the non-MX. You just want to make sure that you get the exact one that you need. Alright, so we got the box open here. It comes with your basic instructions on how to use this thing, which you should read. And this is true on all the handhelds. Read this. Put that to the side. Comes with another manual on how to operate it in detail. It's going to come with a new housing. It comes with a new intake filter as well. We'll set that to the side. I'm going to take the actual pump out of the box. There we go. We'll cut this plastic with this dull razor. Now, when it comes, there's the screw there that we would just remove, but it says do not rotate this gear. Remove the guard after you put it in. So you won't take this off because you run the risk of turning this. Okay, so you don't want to take this off. First thing we're going to do is put the new screw into the ground wire. And it just screws right into the back. And again, that bearing is free spinning, so you have to put a little pressure on with your finger to get it started. Once it's started, you got it as far as it'll go. Throw your 3/8 wrench back on the shaft there. Just hold it. And tighten that up. You want it tight so it don't loosen up over time through vibrations and rotations of the actual pump. Now, remember that little sensor we talked about? It's right there. We're going to place that right back. There's a little slot for it to go into. It's split and there's a little piece of plastic that slides up in between it. We're going to slide this down into the hole. Push this back again. And that's going to want to pop in and out of there quite a bit. Now your free spinning bearing on the back side, we want to turn that so it's straight up and down, because the flat side's got to sit down the side of the groove. If you have to force it, you're doing something wrong. Come on. What am I catching on over here? Catching on something. And we'll pull this off. Get it out of the way. Drops down in place. Alright. You see the flat sides are on the left and right of this, or up and down, if you will. Everything's in place. It doesn't go down anymore. That's it. Make sure your wire's out of the way. Your sensor is back in place. Then we're going to set the body back on. I'm going to test fit it by pressing it down. Still feels like there's something not quite right. It could just be that the plastic is plastic. Not happy with it. I think it's turned a little bit. There we go. It was. It had turned just a little bit so that it wouldn't go like a 1/16 of an inch down. Makes a difference. Again, if you're having to force it, don't do it. Now we can put the body back on and it sits flush. See that? There's no rocking now. We know we're good. We're going to set all the screws back in the holes. And again, this is all plastic body, so easy on the electric. These are actually very simple to do. The only downside, which will save you some money if you're doing it yourself, the downside is that the pump itself is a little bit pricey. Now there's a notch in your prime stem, the stem right here, there's a notch. It's not on the top side. In this case, it's on the side. That screw should line up on that same side. So it'll pop down into place. You'll seat the screw in. Now it turns. I'm going to use his old housing because there's nothing wrong with it, and he just get his new housing and hold on to it for a later date. We're not going to put it on as tight as he had it. Now I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go get some water and put the battery back in, and then we'll test it real quick. Okay, we're back. So got the water in it. I've already bled off the air. You should know how to do all of that. We're going to spray it real quick. And this is a sanitizer, so this doesn't give you the same delivery that a regular handheld does. So you can see plenty of material coming out. So we're good to go. It's been repaired. Everybody should be happy. Got any questions, comments, or you got a request, feel free to let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe. I'm also on Facebook, which I'll put a link to it on this video. You can go there and ask all the questions, and I can help you out because I get quite a few messages through there, and I help a lot of folks out free of charge. Otherwise, be safe. I'll talk to you next time.